Hacker TV. Because hustlers don't watch cable.
The other things you mentioned was that, you wanted to give them reasons to blog about you, reasons to talk about you. I'm assuming you're referring to incentives of some kind, right? Maybe there's a social incentive of you're on the advisory board, you're important,
right,
and that's kind of part of it. But maybe you mean more than that. What kind of incentives did you guys, or are you experimenting with doling out here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that actually goes back to some of the stuff that I did with Gmail, because the insight we had with Gmail was people loved email, but why would they ever talk about it? And what they loved about Gmail, certainly, this was back in 2005, is that the spam catching was so superior to anything else that here you have all these Gmail people who are like, what? Spam's not an issue. And if you're not on Gmail, everyone else is like, oh, I have to go through spam. But there wasn't that, we wanted to do things that would give them a reason to talk about it. And so we did a bunch of campaigns that were all about sharing videos and being a part of a Google video, even though you're just a Gmail user, all sorts of things like that. And that was sort of the core insight that I took from Gmail and then brought to Box is, okay, we have people who love Box. How do we get them to talk about it? Mm-hmm. And we did have a lot of conversation around, do you use incentives like if you tweet about Box, you get a gig of storage, or we send you a gift card, or things like that. And we ended up more on the, we do give out t-shirts, we do sort of fun swag, stuff like that, but we decided not to, I think we tested a couple times, we decided not to go to the direct, do this for that, because the most important thing about that word of mouth is that it's authentic, is that, they actually do really like the product. They're not just trying to get something or earn something or, but what we wanted to do is, it's like give them a topic of conversation that doesn't make it awkward. Because if you were just, like you and I were hanging out at a bar and I was like, hey, this Box product is awesome. You'd be like, what? Why are you telling me this? So trying to say, hey, here's a new case study on how this company used Box to solve this problem. Okay, well, do you know someone with that problem? That's a reason to talk to them. Mm-hmm. Or, here's a discount that we're offering anybody if you signed up for Box right now, let's say. Oh, tell people about that. Because, hey, I use Box. It's really awesome. They're doing this little discount thing. You guys should sign up for it. So that's kind of what we meant by giving reasons to giving them reasons to talk about Box.
No, that's great. And I love hearing that perspective, because I think we don't have enough people on the show talking about it in that kind of language. It's always, quid pro quo. You do this, I do that. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And growth hackers, I think that way by default, instead of the more organically, hey, this is a community, let's make it authentic, let's give them reasons without there being so explicit and direct all the time. But that's a part of growth as well. And I think there's something to learn from both sides of that equation, so that's great. Another thing you talk about in terms of, changing, the